Hi everyone, it's MsRheyRhey. Good morning to you. I'm sorry, it is very much morning for me. This is the only time I have to record because this is the best natural lighting I have. So excuse me for the half shadow. But you know what? Shadow means it's real. So today I have another casual cosplay video for you guys, right? Finally, oh my god, it's been so long. I've been wanting to do this since December. No joke. The timing for this is literally just a coincidence. I've been wanting to do this since September. So, I forgot my train of thought. Casual cosplay. Right, so today the cosplay will be Lapis Lazuli from Steven Universe. That's why I said it was completely a coincidence. That was my train of thought. So, let's get started. So, first off, the materials that I used are as follows. I used some rubber gloves because it's gonna get messy, a plain white t-shirt of your size, my size was a small, a spritzer water bottle, the powdered dye. Make sure the dye is going to be blue. I will show you guys why in a second. I have this is the tray that I used for my art video. It's just to keep everything tidy because I have a small bathroom and I just cleaned it specifically for this video. So I want to keep it clean. Did I mention the cup? There's a red Solo cup. And then there is this little squirt bottle I actually got from the cooking aisle of the craft store. It's like for like candies and detail work on like chocolates, cookies, or anything, but today we're going to be using it for dye. And actually it's not stained, so that's a plus. I could probably like super clean it out and use it for cooking, but I already have a lot of cooking stuff. Anyway, let's get started. So what I'm going to be doing is a little bit different since I haven't done this in forever. I'm going to be going through a slightly edited showing of what I'm doing, so I can give you like the thoughts that I had and also like explain the process because I haven't done this in a while. So bear with me. It's still morning. And what time is it actually? Okay, I have 20 minutes. Let's start with, okay, so right here I first just put on my shirt to see how it fit me, and then since Lapis Lazuli often wears a crop top, I was finding exactly where I felt comfortable to have my shirt expose as much skin as possible. And then I'm using right here a pencil that I have within my sewing kit. I got 2 pencils. I tied them together with bread ties in order to make like a little gap, because when you're sewing you want like a gap, like the inseam and the outer seam sort of thing. I'm not fully sure on the terminology, but I made a little line in the shirt of where I felt comfortable to sew, and then right here I'm darkening it for you guys to see, so that you guys know what I'm all about and be like, okay, this is, I think the gap in there is kind of like 1 inch, maybe like 3/4. I'm not entirely sure. But then right here I got out my ruler. I'm making sure the line goes all the way through, because just a little line in the middle of the shirt, I'm not going to be able to sew it straight and perfectly. So I'm just making sure the line is all tidy and straight, unlike me. And just so I know where to cut for the, for the line in a little bit. Let's scroll through. Okay, and then right here you see me smoothing out the shirt, just making sure that like when I'm cutting it like I am right now, there's not going to be any sorry, my nose. There's not going to be any, what do you call it, weird gaps. Like I didn't want the front of the shirt to be shorter than the back of the shirt, so I'm just making sure everything's even, because odd things bug the crap out of me, but I'm working on it. And so right here, after I cut it, you can't see the shirt very well because I'm not great at camera work, but I was so lazy. The only thing I got out of my sewing kit was the pencil and the scissors. So what I'm doing right here is I'm using my bobby pins instead of like the actual sewing pins, because actually also I didn't want to take out my sewing machine to do this, just because like I didn't want people staring at me when I'm doing this, and there's like a whole bunch of people in my house. So I was just gonna hand sew this. That was my original plan. So I didn't want to stab myself with sewing pins, so I just used bobby pins, and they work out fine. Like, see right here on the shirt, it's fine. I know exactly where they're gonna be. They're gonna stay exactly where I want them to stay. It's gonna be fine. But like I said, I am hand sewing this. So here's the final product. It took me like 20 minutes to sew the front and back of the shirt. And here's my boobs. It's fine. I think the sewing work I did was fine. It's probably a lot better to use the sewing machine, or if you have better like hand sewing skills, please feel free to use that. But yeah, so there was that. I just didn't want to take the sewing machine out because it's a hunk of a machine. So then what I did with the material that I cut off, I kept, because I was going to use that as a tester for the dye, because this is the first time I've been using this type of dye, so I didn't want there to be like any like, oh, it says ocean blue, but it might actually be like a baby blue or like a teal blue, and I just wanted to make sure it was the exact kind of blue that I needed. So what I did is I took the tester fabric, I got it wet because that's what the instructions told me. I got my red cup, I poured in hot water, because that's the instructions. It said to use hot water. It said to use salt, but at first I didn't use that, and you will see why. And then I just took a little plastic stirrer that I have lying around everywhere, and combined the two. And I was noticing that the fabric, well, not the fabric, I noticed very, very early into this development that my dye did not look blue. It did not look blue at all. In fact, it was like a jewel purple. And I was thinking to myself, the ocean is blue, right? Like, I can't be that colorblind. Like, genetically, I'm a girl, so like girls are less likely to be colorblind in a scientific probability. So I'm like, the ocean's blue, right? It's kind of greenish blue. So there's no way I could be like interpreting it differently. Like, the ocean's not purple. The ocean is blue. Why is this water purple? I'm spending too long on this bit, but the water turned purple, and I didn't know what to do. So at first, I added salt. I did. Well, I poured it into the little dispenser thing first, but it was pretty purple. I added salt like it told me to, probably not enough, probably too much of the ratio that I've been making, but that didn't do anything. So please excuse me, but I did used to be a baker. Like, I am technically still a baker. Like, I went to school for it and everything. It's just the school closed down before they could give me my program certificate. So I don't have anything to show for it, but I'm still paying it off, so it still counts. So I have all of these baking utensils and gobbledygooks and tools. So what I did is I took this gel coloring that I had. Okay, sorry, from the footage, I am working through it. I'm still figuring out that the dye is purple. What I did is I took a gel color dye that I had, a set, as you can see in the background, and I just turned my dye blue, and a very dark blue at that. I was like, oh, this is like the perfect blue, right? It's so dark and deep and like rich, and this is exactly the blue that Lapis is. I looked out super well. So when you are finding your dye, make sure it's blue. It doesn't even need to be like the deep dark blue like I found, because I'm going to be lightening it up a little with water. But I fixed it, and now I have a new head wrap with the tester fabric. So win-win. I even sprinkled like a little bit of what was left in the cup and a little bit of the dye on the purple, just because blue and purple are really pretty. Either way, that is what I did. Let us move on past this. So right here, I'm showing you the Lapis Lazuli reference that I picked. I am doing the Bob Lapis from Hit the Diamond, maybe? I can't remember the title of the episode, but you all know it's Baseball Lazuli. I just figured it's casual, so like I can't make a dress right off the bat, and it wouldn't be a very casual dress anyway. So let's go with casual lapis is baseball lapis. So what I did is, first off, I didn't wet the fabric on the shirt, which I should have and you should do. But I just wanted to do like, I wanted to start at the seams and then coat accordingly. So I didn't add water because I wanted like the control. But later on, I will see that the color, when you don't get it wet, is too dark. So what I did, after I completely soaked the one sleeve, I put it in the sink, cleaned up my sink with my spritzer, because I cleaned that sink specifically for this purpose, and I'm gonna keep it clean. And with my gloves, I should have mentioned that earlier, I moved the shirt and spritzed it accordingly so I can get just the right blue that I needed. Like, this is lapis blue, pretty much. I flipped it over. I did the same thing with the other sleeve, and I achieved, I guess, what I wanted. It was the perfect blue. The colored seemed kind of consistent. It's weird. It has like a watercolor quality to the shirts, which I didn't intend for, actually, and I was a little miffed at the beginning, but you know what? I figured that Lapis and Peridot do like meat morphs all the time, so we're going meat morph for the shirt. It's just a Lapis meat morph casual shirt. So after my ramblings, I set it up in my shower to let the tester and shirt dry just at the sleeve part, and then what I did after it was all dried, it took kind of like all day. I actually put it in the dryer for like on medium for an hour, and the color kind of faded a bit. Some of it went into the dryer. I cleaned it, don't worry. But then I started on the collar, and same as the sleeves, I made sure the collar was wet this time, just because if we warped it already, then it doesn't really matter if it's detailed or not. So the shirt now is a bit of a watercolor, and you know what, that suits Lapis just fine, because, you know, control over water and everything. So I did that. I did both sides at the same time in the sink. I didn't use my gloves this time because I was like, I'm like right here in the water. If I'm gonna turn into a Smurf, then I'll just turn into a Smurf regardless. So I did that. I let it dry, and then I had the best idea ever. It's not entirely casual cosplay at this point, because people will understand the reference if I'm just wearing the shirt out in the open. But I decided to put a little detail on the back of the shirt. I was gonna put Lapis's jewel, so I got 2 points of cardboard that was shirt width, not entirely length because it's crop top, but like width, I used some medium-sized postal box, and because I had it lying around, and I did that. I did some detail work on the back, just made it into a teardrop shape, much like her jewel, and actually did a pretty good job freehand, if I say so myself. And again, kept the shirt dry, just because this one needed to be detailed. I followed the lines first. I messed it up a little, but like I said, it's watercolor, so I guess it'll fit in. And yeah, so I did like drops of watercolor, of the watercolor, used my little stir stick from before to like move the water where I wanted, so it's like filling in the coloring within the lines a little, and I ended up with a pretty good teardrop. Once I let it dry, it bled through the lines a little bit, but like I said, watercolor, so it's fine. Off camera, I did like a little drop of water on like near the bottom to give it like a shine effect, but like with watercolor, and it actually turned out very well. I am very happy with the results. And honestly, you guys, with the final reveal, or full reveal, I guess, if you go full cosplay, it's... Wait, there I am. I'm short. I'm sorry. I don't hate it. I love it, actually, to be fully honest. With a little... Let me back up. With, like, the gem on there. I don't know if you can... Yeah, you can see it. It's pretty obvious. Like, the little water drop I did to make it, like, shine, I guess, in a really weird way. There's some... I don't know if you could hear me while I was back there. Oh, there it is. There's some, like, water spots I'm not entirely sure I want to get rid of because, like I said, watercolored lapis. I'm not... Also, like, there's... It's dripping down because when I was drying on my shower, I didn't place it right, and so some of the water was like seeping down. So it kind of looks like I have watery armpit stains. I don't know if I should bleach it back to where I want it or just have it run down all the way to like fix it so it doesn't, so it looks like it's intentional. You know what I mean? Like this obviously is the worst side, but like I like it. I don't know how I feel about that one little white daub right there, but I'd say this is a success technically. Trying a new method of coloring my clothes. But yeah, it's pretty great. I'm happy with it. I'm gonna be wearing this out in public when it's warmer because the weather is fucked up right now for some reason. Anyway, that is my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please let me know. I only had this idea for a casual cosplay so far, so if you have others, like a season premiere or something is coming up, or like you just want me to say, hey, I think you would look good as this character from this show, please try it out. I would love to. I don't know how my schedule is going so far because, like I said in previous videos, all the time I have school, which takes up all of my concentration, and it's annoying because I miss doing this so much. Like every single day I'm working on something and I was just like I could be editing a YouTube video right now. Like I miss it so much. But I know for sure my next video is going to be an art video. It's not going to be the paint pouring like the last one. I don't want to reveal what it is. It's not that way. Why am I looking that way? But it's going to be it's a completely different medium that I'm going to be trying out, and I hope you guys like it because I have all the materials now. I just need to film it and then edit it and then process it and then have you guys watch it. Thank you guys so much for watching my videos. I very, very much appreciate it. I'll see all of you in the next one. Have a wonderful life.